Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dreadlock initiates or just dreadlock curious, welcome. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I get asked a lot, and so I think the world would be benefited, or the dreadlock world would be benefited by me answering this question. No, but it's a common question, and there are multiple answers to it, and all those answers are correct, and therefore there's some confusion, and so I will go over it. What is the question? The question is, how often should you wash dreadlocks? So I'm just going to be talking about how often you should wash your dreadlocks, how often you should do a deep cleanse, normal washing. If you want to know more about the actual process of washing dreadlocks, I have a video where I wash my dreadlocks, go through it each step, actually video me washing my dreadlocks, and you can get a link to that by, I will put a link here and you can click between my hands. If you're on a phone, you won't be able to click it, but I will also put the link in the little box underneath the information box. Okay, so, how often should you wash your dreadlocks? First off, yes, you should wash your dreadlocks. And yes, you can wash dreadlocks, because there's that myth that dreadlocks are made of dirty hair, or that you can't wash dreadlocks, or that you shouldn't wash dreadlocks. Obviously that is wrong. And if you watch the video that I posted, then you will see me actually doing it, and I mean, if you already have dreadlocks, then you should already know that it's normal to wash dreadlocks. Normal to wash any hair, it can be washed as often as any other hair. So first off, yes, you can and should wash dreadlocks. So, how often should you wash dreadlocks? Some people are washing them, every other day, some people are washing them once a week, more or less, and then there's often confusion when you don't know which one is right. The answer is both right. You wash your hair as often as it needs to be washed, or as often as you want to wash it. There's no set time period in which dreadlocks should be washed. It's up to the individual person, but I'm going to go over why it's fine to wash them at whatever sort of time intervals work for you, and why the different time intervals do work for different people. When you wash your hair, you're stripping away the oils and sort of grease and stuff that is produced by your scalp. So when you have normal straight hair, you wash your hair when it feels greasy. Dreadlocks are slightly different in that you don't brush the hair, and the dreadlocks are kind of thicker at the root than normal hair would be, and so the oil and grease that would normally accumulate in hair doesn't really accumulate in dreadlocks. It stays on your scalp. You don't really get greasy dreads. It all stays on your scalp. And the more often you wash your hair, the more often those oils get stripped away. So if you're washing your hair every single day, then the oils are getting stripped away every single day. The reason that people sometimes find that their scalp is really irritable when they first get dreadlocks is that they go from washing their hair every day, so if you have normal straight hair and you wash your hair every day, then you get dreadlocks, and then it's not normal to wash dreadlocks every single day. Dreadlocks take so long to dry that it's not really practical to wash them every single day. I also wouldn't recommend washing them every single day because they take so long to dry, that if you're washing them every day, then, and especially with longer mature dreadlocks, they take hours to dry, and if you're washing them every day, then it's going to be not so long that they're actually completely dry, and stuff that's left damp all the time can get mouldy and not pleasant. So every 2 or 3 days is a normal time period to wash dreadlocks, but still, well, it is for me, but even if you go from washing every day to washing your new dreadlocks every 2 to 3 days, your scalp is still going to be producing the oils at a rate to be washed away every single day. So although you're washing your hair every 3 days, your scalp is still producing oils as if you're going to strip them every single day. So you get build up, and it's irritable, and it's not very nice. This is why when you're preparing for dreadlocks, it's best to cut down your washing and change to your new dreadlock soap at least a few weeks before you get the dreads, so your scalp gets used to it. If you cut down slowly on the amount that you wash, so if you slowly go from washing every day to once a week, or once every 3 days, or however often you're going to wash your dreads, then your scalp is going to get used to it. So if you wash your hair every week, then it's not gross or disgusting, because people who don't have dreadlocks or people who wash their hair every day feel like they have to wash their hair every single day, because otherwise, if they wait too long, the hair is going to get gross and disgusting. But if you wait, and if you slowly ease into it, and get into washing your hair once a week, then your scalp gets used to it. Your scalp is like, oh, we don't need to produce as high levels of oils because it's not going to get stripped away every single day. It's going to get stripped once a week. So the scalp produces a lower amount of oils, and therefore you can sort of teach your scalp to get used to only being washed once a week. So if you ease into it slowly, go from washing once a day to once every 2 days, once every 3 days, once every 4 days, until you're up to washing once every week. Your scalp's going to get used to it, and then it won't be irritable to wash your hair that infrequently anymore. And also, your hair won't actually be disgusting or anything, because it's not producing as high levels of oils. It takes longer for your head to get oil and greasy like that. That is why when one guy is going, oh, I wash my dreadlocks every 3 days, and one guy is going, oh, I wash my dreadlocks only once a week, and then they think the other person is weird, or a bystander thinks that two guys having a conversation about washing dreadlocks is weird. Both are right, both work for each person. If you only have time to wash your dreadlocks once a week, then you get your head used to being washed once a week, then that works out fine. If you're, going to the gym, working out, and you want to wash your hair more often, then as long as you keep the routine, then it works. That's the important part. You have to keep the routine. If you're going to wash your hair once a week, then you need to keep it up. Try and keep as close to once a week as you can. If you're going to wash your hair once every 2 to 3 days, then you want to keep to that. Because if you start to make it up as you go along, washing at random intervals, then your scalp isn't going to get used to it, and then you can end up either getting a really dry scalp if you're once you go back to washing really often from washing less frequently, or if you go from washing really often to washing less frequently, then you're going to get a really oily and irritable scalp. Before you start dreadlocks, ease into a new routine. It's best to pre-decide. If you go, oh, I'm going to wash my hair every 3 days, so I'm going to wash my hair once a week, ease into that. Once you have dreadlocks, try and keep to it as best you can. And if you're going to change, if you know that you won't be able to wash it as frequently, or you want to wash it more frequently, just try and ease into it, and it'll be fine. I'll just go quickly over deep cleanse. I have a video on deep cleansing, which is where you soak the dreadlocks, remove soap residue, and you can put other things in your deep cleanse to help with dandruff and other things. And basically, the deep cleanse breaks down all the oils that are in your dreadlocks and scalp and cleans it all out, breaks down soap residue. If you want to see how to do that, you can click the link here, or I will put another link down there for the dreadlock deep cleanse, and I'll talk about how often to do that. Again, there's no set amount. If you feel that your dreadlocks are getting a lot of build-up, then you can do it as often as you like. But if you're getting a lot of build-up in your dreadlocks, I'd recommend either trying a different soap, using less soap, or rinsing more thoroughly. The deep cleanse can really dry out your scalp because it really strips away everything, all the oil, all the residue, all the dirt. And so I wouldn't recommend using bicarb for every wash. I know some people do use bicarb for every wash. I wouldn't recommend that because for me personally, it really dries out my scalp because it's a really tough clean, strips away everything. If I was asked to recommend how often to use a deep cleanse, I would say once every month or once every 2 months is perfectly fine, and to continue with the normal washing routine in between that. So use your normal shampoo, normal washing to keep the dreads clean, and then once every month or once every 2 months you can use the deep cleanse to strip away anything that's left by the soap. It's good to mix it up with the deep cleanse in between the normal washing, in the same way that I also like to sometimes switch between soaps. If I'm using one dreadlock soap, I really like to then use another dreadlock soap later. So if I use one soap for a month, then maybe the next month I'll use a different soap, because I find that you sort of lose that new car smell, that feeling you get from using a new soap. I kind of feel like I'm washing my hair with one soap, and then when I switch to a new soap, it washes away anything that was left by the first soap, and then you get a nice fresh feeling again. But the bicarb deep cleanse works to do that as well. So just remember, routine. You need a good routine, keep it up, and your hair will reward you. Your scalp will reward you. It'll feel a lot better. If you have any questions about washing dreadlocks or deep cleanses or how often to wash dreadlocks, you can leave me a comment here. And as always, I will try to reply to you as soon as possible. And if it's a really good question, I will make a video response to it. I will make another dreadlock video. Thank you. Goodbye.